Close down the oil industry?
It falls.
Would you close down the
falls.
oil
By the way, I
industry?
would transition from the oil industry, yes.
Oh,
I will
that's
transition.
a big statement.
It is a big statement.
That's a big
because
statement.
I would stop
Why would you do that?
because the oil industry pollutes significantly.
I see.
Here's the deal. But
That's
you
a
can't
big
do
statement.
that. Well, if you let me finish the statement, because it has to be replaced by renewable energy over time. And I'd stop giving to the oil industry, I'd stop giving them federal.
Welcome to Key Stock and Crypto Channel.
We had the stock market pumping for 2 days. Now we're pulling back. And remember I told you, make sure you're paying attention to the geopolitical things that are going on. Because we have OPEC says they're now going to be cutting, right as it's getting cold, guys. The energy crisis is about to start. And that Trump and Biden video says it all. And who's going to benefit from the clean energy transformation? The same people who benefited from oil. Guys, we have Exxon, which we know is the Rockefellers. Then we have Warren Buffett pouring money into Oxy. And guys, this energy crisis may get pushed in the background because we're going into midterms. But it's definitely going to rear its ugly head once it's over. If OPEC does cut, that is going to force Biden to go into the reserves. And we know Trump had stacked up the oil reserves before he left. So natural gas and oil stocks are definitely going to get a pump if OPEC does go through with the cuts. I'm not your financial advisor, not financial advice. Please do your own research. We have energy, tech, and healthcare are definitely going to be benefiting from the fourth industrial revolution. Even though there's going to be a transformation in it, they're going to be the sectors that lead the way. Now we have chip maker Micron investing $100 billion in New York State hub. And then also we have Intel's Mobileye files to go public at a $30 billion valuation. And we see manufacturing moving back to the United States. We have Micron and Intel chip makers incentivized to build in America. But remember, guys, you don't want those jobs. I did a video with Jerome Powell in the meeting, and the young lady said it's time to re-educate. They're going to be re-educating the youth that you don't have to worry about going to college. You can go straight to manufacturing. And we know school is nothing but indoctrination. It's a way to get you from school and go get a job, not being creative and creating your own. That's the reason why they do not teach finances in school. That's why it's so important to re-educate at home. Now, we had Elon Musk announcing that he's going to be buying Twitter. Stock went up 22%, and he sent out a tweet saying that buying Twitter is an accelerant to creating X, the everything app. And guys, X means completion. I sent out an actual tweet when he sent out that message last night. And this morning we have CNBC saying the same thing. Twitter may become a super app just like Alipay and WeChat. But guys, we know that China is leading us in the fourth industrial revolution. They already have the social credit. And that's the reason why Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram are the perfect social platforms where you have the social credit, social shopping, social working, and then you tap it in with the actual cryptocurrencies, you'll be getting paid on a daily basis sitting at home. Now, we know the UN came out with a statement asking the Fed to stop raising rates because the global economy is taking a hit because of the strong dollar. The emerging markets are taking a beating. But guys, that is done on purpose to get the countries off the US dollar so then therefore we get to move over to this new digital economy. The emerging markets have already been setting up the new digital economy for years. And we also had Jim Cramer says it may be time for the Fed to dial back. And guys, we know they're not going to dial back. We know they're not going to pivot because they have a mission. And we are seeing the job market tighten, the housing market tighten, and U.S. job openings fell by over 1 million in August. And guys, we know it's going to keep getting worse. Now we have Ray Dalio leaves the company. And we know over these next 2 years, we're going to be going through some of the worst times in American history. But he's been calling it for years on how China and the emerging markets we're going to be rise and there's going to be a new power in China. He's been saying it for years. And we know one of the leaders in Latin America is Mercado Libre. And a great play with that is PayPal, because we know PayPal funded them over $750 million. And I've been over stocks for the emerging markets, China, Alibaba, Tencent, the emerging market ETFs like Vanguard. Now we know the FedEx CEO came out, gave a warning about the times that we have coming ahead. But what do? A buyback. That's right, $1.5 billion. And we know stock backs are nothing but market manipulation. But guys, let's get over to the indicators. We had, of course, the repo again, over $2 trillion. But we had yield rates up. We had the dollar slightly up, and we had the VIX slightly up. So what does that mean? The stock market is going to be down. Don't forget to pay attention to the indicators, because they're going to let you know everything. But guys, that's all I have for you. Have a wonderful day.
Big day, Brian. Good morning.
Yeah, I mean, Carl, it really is a big day, and I know the price of oil is not moving a whole lot now, but the price of oil has moved $10 a barrel in the last couple of days on this expectation, and we are expecting a cut of about 2 million barrels per day. Now, the 2 million barrels is not going to come off the market because a lot of these OPEC members are not hitting their quotas anyway. Call it 50 to 60%. So if that's the case, Carl, we're talking about maybe 1 million physical barrels a day actually coming off the market. Now, are they expected to do it all at once? No. All of our sources telling us, the delegates that we have texted and talked to say this is probably going to be a rolling 2 million barrels over a certain amount of time. But focus less perhaps on the number and more on the symbolism, guys, of this. OPEC was an organization a year and a half ago, where they were talking about OPEC's dead. The UAE and Saudi Arabia are fighting that the organization is outlived its course and is done. We're seeing the Saudi minister arrive. We're seeing the Russian minister arrive, by the way. This is OPEC saying, not only are we aligned, we're aligned with Russia. By the way, bringing the ties closer together with Russia. U.S. is going to be very upset about that. But also that we are in charge of at least half the global oil market. This is, unfortunately, a direct rebuke to the White House, who, by all reports, CRYPTOTEACHER reported the same, was trying desperately to stop this production cut. It's happening, guys, and it's happening in a tight market. I have never seen a cut when the market is as tight as this. This can only be seen as sending a pretty loud message. The oil and gas CEO I've ever seen at an OPEC meeting, he said OPEC is going to defend $100 on Brent, so that would be, what, 94, 95 on WTI. He thought that was the right move. So what do they think? I mean, look at oil and gas stocks today. By the way, not to jump in, we've got Paul Sankey of Sankey Research, who's standing right here. So you actually are an analyst. Very quickly, Paul, is this good for the U.S. oil and gas sector?
At face value, it is, but we're worried about the economy and about the demand side, Brian. So ultimately, if this damages the global economy and ultimately demand for oil, it's actually not as good as it.
Will it damage the global economy?
I think we're worried about it going into winter, definitely.
Okay. Paul, thanks.